Good morning, welcome back to my channel. By the way, my name is Agustin Dular and welcome to my vlog. And this vlog is all about the basic competency in local treasury examination. And for my previous videos that I posted here or uploaded here in my YouTube channel, ay nagawa na po natin yung dalawang libro, yung two updated books related sa local treasury operations manual. I'm done with the first part up to fourth, which is do not natapos na yung book 1 at book 2. So welcome to the part 5 wherein we will be discussing the book 3 ng ating updated LTOM. So with that, as I always said that this might be gagamitin nila as questions in terms of ano yung mga typical answer na all of the above, none of the above, except yun. Kaya please familiarize all these typical enumerated items kasi talagang possible. So with that, especially on this coming April 2022 exam, and of course, a biggest preparation for the October 2022 examination. So, I'd like to start with the book, The book 3, updated LTOM, is entitled Fund Management Practices, Expenditures, and Disbursements. So, on the chapter 1, the concept of funds in section 66, these are the classification and basic maintenance of funds that our government funds are consist of three, are generally classified into three. First, the local fund, which is known as the general fund. The special funds consist of special education and trust fund, and the special accounts in the general fund of the local government unit. So, ano ba itong tinatawag nating local fund? Basically, this is about maintain a general fund which will be used to account for each monies and resources as may be received and disbursed by the from the local treasury. So, ano naman po itong tinatawag nating special fund? There shall be maintained in every province, cities, and municipal treasury of the following special fund. Number 1 po, lalo na po itong special education fund wherein the 1% proceeds from the taken from the respective tax on real property shall be automatically released to the school board, and yun, the board will be the one to sa 6 different projects or activities para sa ating SEF. So I think I'm done with those requirement ng proceeds para sa SEF. I shared it already siguro, pero maybe if wala, I will share it again. Next is the trust fund. Trust fund shall consist of private and public monies which have officially come into possession of the local government or the local government official as trustee. Para po mas madali mo itong maalala kung anong fund ang hinahanap o describe nito sa question, just read kung trust fund yung magiging sagot, basta hanapin nyo lang po yung salitang trustee. And part of the fund, the three types of fund of our government is the special accounts which should be maintained for purposes of public utilities and other economic enterprises, for the purposes of loans, interest, bond issues, and other contribution for specific purposes, and development project funded by the share of the local government unit concerned in the internal revenue allotment. So these are the three major government funds. And let's talk about part of the book 3, chapter 2, the concept of appropriation, allotment, and obligation. So there are three different types of appropriation: annual, continuing, and supplemental. And we have to discuss what is this annual appropriation means. This is consisting of a specified amount for salaries, wages, and sundry expenses. It is authorized by the Sangguniang as necessary for the regular operations of the local government unit during any given year. The annual appropriation is also the annual budget of the local government unit, which refers to a financial plan embodying the estimates of income and expenditures for one fiscal year. Continuing operation refers to an appropriation available to support obligations for a specific purpose or project, such as those for the construction of physical structure or for the acquisition of real property, equipment, even when these obligations are incurred beyond the budget year. Magic terms and magic words for annual appropriation. This is also known as the annual budget, and it happens for a fiscal year, 1 year. For the continuing appropriation, this is incurred beyond the budget year. And the appropriation includes unexpended mga balances, so hindi na nagamit na mga 20% development fund, unexpended balance of capital outlay from the LDRRMF or the Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management Fund, and of course, the capital outlay for the different departments of the local government. Dito po, pwedeng pagkukunan ang ating tinatawag na continuation appropriation. Last for the appropriation is the supplemental appropriation, in which this is one prepared to adjust the equilibrium of the first approved budget, which has been disturbed as supplemental to current economic, political, or social conditions to provide an additional amount to the original appropriation, which proved to be inadequate or insufficient for the particular purpose intended. Kahit meron na pong annual plan or annual budget na ginawa or annual appropriation, this supplemental appropriation ay siyang tumitimbang kung mayroon pong kulang sa na-approve na budget. Kung di man kulang, siya yung ginagamit para as an additional amount. Okay? Now, let's talk about the local budget cycle. Well, this is basically lahat ito yung sinusunod ng mga local government unit. Una, the budget preparation, budget authorization, budget review, budget execution, and accountability. In fact, there is this so-called acronym of PARIA. PARIA means preparation, authorization, review, execution, and accountability. This is the budget cycle. And paano natin malalaman among this cycle kung what cycle siya na belong? For budget preparation, there is this so-called guidelines for data gathering. The activity made is update planning, budgeting, and financial database. For budget authorization, the activity made by the LGU is the issuance of budget call, the preparation and submission of a budget proposal. For execution and accountability, there is this activity so-called preparation of budget message and submission of executive budget to the Sanggunian, enactment of the annual budget of the ensuing fiscal year by the Sanggunian concerned. Then, in section 71, we will be familiarizing with the so-called the allotment system in the local government unit. There are 3 control devices used in the allotment system. First, the LBM or the local budget matrix, which is this is a yearly overall financial plan of the local government unit equivalent to its approved appropriation. Again, the local budget matrix is equivalent to the approved appropriation. This aggregated into components or categories. Kung matatanong po tayo soon, what is the another term for this so-called annual approved appropriation? Local budget matrix. The cash program must be able to facilitate the management of cash that is available when it's needed for payment of obligation at the same time optimizes its utilization. Okay? Pag cash ang pinag-usapan, cash program po yung hanapin nating allotment system control device. The physical performance target reflect targeted units of work under each program, activity, project for each department, office based on the historical data, peaks and slumps of activity. Again, what are the control devices for the allotment system? First, the LBM, the local budget matrix, the cash program, and the physical performance target, which is related to program, activity, and project. The PAP, na ginagamitan pa ito based on the historical data of peak and slumps of activities. Well, we will start with discussing with the types of unlawful expenditures for I think this will be more discussed sa ating next video because talagang mas marami ito. So with that, until here lang muna tayo for our video today. Just always familiarize the LBM, the cash program, and the PPT. The Lugat budget cycle, the appropriations, and the 3 different government funds. Those are the basic most enumerated items for ating book 3, chapter 1.